Good afternoon, everybody. You can hear there's a whole lot of mayhem in the background and merrymaking. We are here at our author event in Store 104 in Rochester. We've had an absolutely raucous morning. Bev Bunn, author of When Harvey Met Chester, brought her dogs, who caused absolute mayhem. We've had children making crafts all morning. We've had readings from our authors. We've had lots of brownies and lots of coffee. I just lost Jackie, so I'm hoping Jackie's going to pop back into it. Might be you first, Jane, because Jackie's just dropped off. We're having all kinds of issues with our technology, but we're still smiling in the face of adversity. Oh, no, here she comes. She's coming back now. Okay, let me just find, let's bring her back in. There she is. I don't know where you went there, Jax. So if you're seeing us on Facebook, on Twitter, or on YouTube, good morning to you. If you're hearing us on podcast, excuse the mayhem in the background, and the people in the bookshop can see you now on the TV screen. So it's my absolute pleasure to welcome two of my lovely authors who couldn't be with us in person, but with the power of technology, we were able to get them to join in. We've got the lovely Jane Carson, author of The Cactus Growers Clubs, and the amazing Jackie Sansom, author of I Am Agnes. They're each going to read you a little passage from their books, and then hopefully tell you how brilliant it feels to be published authors. We've had an absolutely wonderful morning. I've talked even a lot for me, quite frankly, so that's a scary thought, isn't it? And I've talked so much, I've only eaten half a Danish. But it's been a real buzz and a real celebration of what's been going on. So I'm going to introduce you to Jackie. I'm going to mute myself, which is good news for everybody concerned. And Jackie is going to read you a little passage from her book, I Am Agnes.
So, hi everyone, it's nice to see you, even though I can't see you. So I'm going to read you a section from I Am Agnes. The book is about a young woman's journey from a dark space into the light, kind of like out of kind of societal conditioning. And I'm going to read a section just from the beginning. So she's still quite in a dark space here. My skin prickled with exposure to the cold air creeping in through the tiny gap at the bottom of my window, filtering through into the dull emptiness that surrounded me. I wondered if I could make it through another day, but I hadn't managed to step off the precipice, and now no sleep taunted me like a bully. My clock fuzzily shouted 3 a.m. in all its redness, and I took a long breath. As I exhaled, tendrils of warm air filled the space in front of me. I did it again, watching them float away towards the wall. I could see the branches of the tree on the wall waving this way and that, and I stared, becoming lost in the simplicity of its lines, watching it move gently. A fluttering disrupted the pattern. A fluttering? No birds are awake at night time. A bat, maybe. I'd never seen a bat before in real life and waited to see if it swung upside down somewhere on a branch. A small smile creeping in at the illusion. I felt myself drifting into this. The bat hung happily upside down on a long, thick branch, arms crossed, swinging back and forth. Then, as if on command, it swung upwards and with a cord attached proceeded to flap flamboyantly round the wall, stopping at certain points. The tread of cord behind it being pinned here and there, making lines and shapes, long and draping, both thin and thick, winding and straight. The bat looked now and then as if checking I was watching, checking that I was experiencing the artwork unfurling in front of me, a parade or performance just for me. And so it continued with line after line from the ceiling to the skirting. Finally, I started to see the shape of a giant tent with a gathering at the top. The bat turned its back and made small movements around the top. I couldn't see what was happening, just arms and feet popping out speedily and all around. Further down, I could see movement around the entrance to the tent. The flaps swung a little. An idea that there was life inside excited me. Life elsewhere. Life other than this one. Life not in this life. It suddenly struck me that this was just pretend.
Getting a little round of applause there, Jackie. Well done.
Thanks.
I Am Agnes, absolutely beautifully written. really powerful imagery and just a really funny, poignant, touching, sad, cheerful, joyous story all rolled into one. So I must say I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, and how does it feel now? Is it print, Dax?
I know, it feels absolutely amazing, and I'm just so grateful to you and to all the girls in the group as well. It's been such a journey, both wonderful and torturous, equal amounts probably, but it's such an amazing feeling to have it actually done now in print, and feeling kind of proud and happy with this moment. I'm just so grateful to all of you. Thank you so much.
Oh, you should be super proud. It's a brilliant achievement. It's a wonderful book, a really lovely story. So glad that you both put us on our little telly today. So before we leave you today, we're going to finish with a reading from the lovely Jane Carson, who has written her book, The Cactus Growers Club, a story about unexpected friendship and a sense of community when it's needed most and perhaps least expected. So this is Jane. She's going to read you an excerpt from her book, The Cactus Growers Club.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's really lovely to join you. I'm sitting here in a rather chilly but very sunny Dublin, and it's a real pleasure to be able to do this now, even though I can't physically be there. So my book is called The Cactus Growers Club. It's set in Dublin, and I'm afraid it's another journey. It's about an English lady who moves to Dublin, and really it's about the way that she, I guess, writes a new chapter in her life, making some very good friends along the way. And it's in the context of the pandemic hitting as well. And the job that she's come to work in Dublin is as a carer in a residential home. So I'm just going to read you a brief extract from the first chapter. I will not worry about the things I cannot control. I will not worry about the things I cannot control. My friend Paula had given me a set of affirmation cards recently. They were a going away present, and I am throwing myself on their mercy to convince myself that I am completely in control of my life. I need something to allay my growing sense of panic as I'm sitting on the Irish ferries W.B. Yeats from Holyhead to Dublin Port. A poetic name for this carrier of crowds, conveyors and commodities. The car deck had been palpably thick with the whiff of diesel and car fumes, but climbing the passenger stairwell had brought a more perfumed aroma of furniture polish, along with a faint, alluring scent of coffee and what smelt like the frazzle of an all-day breakfast from the buffet. Finally, arriving at the main doors, I had felt a welcome glare of natural daylight, like a miner returning to the surface of a coal pit. The main passenger deck is bright, the brass handrails of the main staircase reflecting in the illuminated screens of the slot machines, creating a myriad of shimmers on the recently polished glass aimed at enticing fatigued travellers to part with their money. 2 or 3 lone characters had already mounted their high stools in front of the flickering and chiming no-armed bandits, utterly entranced, while tossing their carry-on bags aside and intent on conquering the big payout. Such diversions do not hold any allure for me. I scan the information board at the foot of the grand stairway that climbs and divides in two for passengers to ascend to the balcony and to the pre-booked seating. Things have changed a lot since I last boarded a ferry to travel to Ireland. The muted colours of the seating, the plush carpets, the marbled effect on the walls and the panels of mink dark glass. This feels like a much bigger and more elaborate adventure than a 3-hour spin across the Irish Sea. There is a cinema and a variety of cafes and eateries filled with fellow travellers. I let myself drift away for a few moments, imagining that I'm heading off to a sun-drenched island paradise on a cruise ship. but that inviting image is cut short abruptly when I have to gingerly step over the feet of several snoring lorry drivers who are bedded down on the sofas next to the coffee shop. So much for white sandy beaches, I say to myself in a whisper, so that I do not wake these sleeping beauties. I consider establishing base camp on one of the few seats remaining, but remembering the long drive and the remaining drive to come, decide that maybe this is the time to take in my surroundings and stretch my legs further than 90 degrees. Thank you.
Get a little ripple there, James. But you so much. Hey, yours is the last publication. So, hey, isn't it? We speak. Oh. Oh, did you hear that? Bev said Tony's just sent a text to Bev to say that the package has arrived on the doorstep. We think it's James' book, so he's opening it as we.
I haven't actually seen one yet.
Have you not? Oh my goodness!
No, I don't have one.
Yeah. So by the skin of your teeth, my darling, you are in on the day. Yeah. Oh, it came about 8:30 this morning, but yeah. So it's been. I'm so glad you were able to be part of our day, even if only in a little way, because you've been a massive part of our whole journey, and we just love you all dearly. And we promise to eat all the brownies on your behalf.
Very much.
Any parting words? Do you have any parting words, Jane?
Well, I have really enjoyed the whole process of this. I've really enjoyed getting to know you, Karen. I think of all of the other ladies. They're just absolutely stellar. They're amazing. I feel very privileged to know them, even in a virtual sense. And it seems so weird. I feel as though I know you all so well, even though other than Bev, I've never met any of you. So it's been a fantastic experience. I got such a buzz out of everything going live with the book. It's just amazing. And as I say, I haven't actually got a physical copy of it yet, and I am on tenterhooks waiting for this to arrive now. But thank you. Thank everyone, and thank everyone there as well.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you. And thank you for being part of our little book family. But your book's on its way. It's bringing its way. And any parting words, Jackie?
Just thank you. And thank you today as well. And I hope you've had an amazing time. And I wish I could have been there, but I can't. But I'm with you in spirit.
Yeah, we know it. We feel you, babe. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. If you're listening on social media or if you're listening on live, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we send you lots of love and hugs your way. Take care and see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.